Thank you very much for hitting play on another episode of The Luke Kelly Show. For the first time, I'm trying to do some video. So if you're listening, I shouldn't say that because depending on how well everything turns out, I'll just tell you. I'm actually videoing to try and put this show up on YouTube. So if it goes well, I'll make sure that I post about it as well. So that way you can actually watch the show. It's just me in my little hut in my basement recording this episode of The Luke Kelly Show. It's episode number 8. I told you last week, or on Monday's episode, that I was going to talk to you about places that I get very nervous to go to with my wife. There's certain places, whenever you drive by, you hope your wife or spouse says, yeah, we don't need to go there today. You just hope that. You don't want to hear the words, yes, I want to go there. Because when you hear those words, never ends well for your wallet. If you're a husband, you know your wife is going to want to go to Target, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Bath and Body Works, really any store. They want to go anywhere. And if you're a lady listening to this show, you know your partner, they're going to want to go into some sort of sports store, maybe a shoe store, hat store. You're like, man, we don't need to be spending money on any of that stuff. Let's just go to Kroger. Let's just go to Costco and spend the money where we need to spend it at. Don't need to go overboard, especially with how inflated prices are right now on just about everything. So expensive to do grocery shopping. So expensive to do anything these days. Well, last week, Nora and I went shopping because I needed to get more dress shirts for work. And I knew that I was going to have to get a lot of dress shirts because just the nature of the beast with this job, right? I had a couple of shirts that I ordered offline, and I have those. Great. But now I need more. You know, I'm going to be working probably 6 days a week, so I don't want to be wearing the same thing over and over again. So I'm trying to pace myself, make sure I look a little different every single day that I go to work. When we are out, I said, hey, let's go to TJ Maxx to see if there's any dress shirts in there. Nora loved that idea. We get to go to TJ Maxx? She was so excited. Why wouldn't she be? To go into one of her favorite stores. I'm in the men's section, and I'm looking, trying to find dress shirts. I couldn't find a single thing. I found some nice golf polos in there, but guess what I don't need right now? Golf polos. I have plenty of them. I have a good rotation that I keep wearing, and you know what? With me having to work so much, who knows when I'll have time to actually go golfing. So I really don't need to buy any more golf polos. So I'm just looking through, trying to see if I can find any gifts for anyone. Because that's what I like to do throughout the year is look. And maybe I'll find a Christmas present or a birthday present like that, something for someone, right? And my wife, when we walked in, said, I'm going to go and look too. I'm like, okay. So the whole time that I'm looking through shirts, I'm like, man, I'm wondering what Nora's finding right now in the women's section. What could it be? Sure enough, she finds me and she says, you'll never guess what I found. I'm like, oh, what did you find? You know those shoes that I was looking at Kohl's? Guess what? I found them here, and they're like half the price. Like, oh, okay. That's great. That's great. You wanted these shoes. I mean, they weren't terribly expensive or anything like that, and I knew she wanted these shoes for a long time. So the fact that she could actually get them, that was a good thing. But I knew we weren't going to leave there empty-handed. I just saw that look in her eye. You know that look? When you stare at your partner, it's like, oh man, they're in a money spending mode. They don't care. They're about to do whatever they have to do right now to get what they want when they're in that store. I'm like that when I go into like Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy Sports, any golf store. I'm like, oh man, it would be nice if they had something that was like 20% off today. Wouldn't that be great? Maybe 40% off. But that never works for me. Only for Nora. She's the one that finds all the deals. But sometimes I feel like ladies embellish how much they actually spend at the store. What they tell us is one thing, but they'll always lead with how much money they saved. Well, it was 20% off, and then I signed up for a credit card that gave me another 10% off. So really, it was 30% off. I got such a good deal on it. And then you ask the question, you're like, okay, but how much money did you spend? And they're like, well, I got 30% off. They never want to go into actually how much money they spent. Me, I mean, I'm kind of upfront and honest. If I'm going to make a big purchase, I always talk to Nora about it first. I'm like, babe, I'm about to spend this much money. Is it cool? And now, granted, Nora doesn't go and drop like hundreds of dollars on purchases. I think she does more of like buying here and buying there, and it'll add up over time. But me, when I buy something, it's going to be a one-time purchase, and it's going to cost a lot of money, but then I won't buy anything for a very long time. That's the way I operate. I always have operated that way. I'll save and save and save, and then finally go and get what I really wanted. So TJ Maxx is a store that I always get nervous about going into with Nora. Another place, probably the place that I get really nervous about, is Bath & Body Works. Nora has an addiction to Bath & Body Works. One, she used to work there. And two, I feel like all ladies love to smell good. They love their houses to smell good. They want to make sure they have good burning candles. They want to make sure that those air fresheners that they get smell really good. And every single time Nora has a coupon, she'll make sure she tells me, I have a coupon. All right. As long as you have a coupon, that's cool. And still, I can't believe how much scented stuff cost, especially at Bath & Body Works. Nora actually went a couple weekends ago. I think I was working, or maybe I was off doing something. She said, you wait until you smell the basement. I got some really good scents at Bath & Body Works. I was like, oh yeah, which scents did you get? She was like, oh, they have this laundry line now where it smells like clean laundry. I walked downstairs in the basement. I'm like, great. Now our basement smells like a full-on laundry room. But it wasn't like that musty smell that you would get at like laundromat. It's like a home laundry scent. It wasn't. I guess whenever you have those like little Glade plugins, these are the Bath & Body Works version of it. But whenever you get those at first, that scent is always very strong. It doesn't matter. The first couple of days, it seems like it's just going at it with your smell. Just jamming inside of your nostrils. And then after a couple of days, it starts to linger a little bit, starts to mellow. But for the most part, you'll still get a hint every once in a while. Not every day. But I was happy that she loved these scents so much. Me, I really don't care about the smell of the house. As long as it smells good. As long as it's not smelling like a men's locker room, then I don't really care. Because trust me, my days of having a place that smells like a locker room, those are over. My first couple of apartments smelled like that because I wouldn't clean my clothes all the time. I don't want that smell anymore. I'm grown. My bills are paid. By the way, if you've never watched 1,000 Pound Sisters on TLC, give that a watch. That's what I just quoted right there. Such a good show. I could watch that show on repeat. I've watched all the seasons. Now I want to get very active on their YouTube channel and just talk to them all the time. They're so entertaining. But Nora loves Bath & Body Works, loves a good TJ Maxx, Home Goods, At Home. Home Goods and At Home, I feel like she really likes those places because we still need to get things for our house. You're never really done getting things for your house, especially when it comes to decor. When you're walking up and down the aisles of one of those At Home, Home Goods or something like that, you're like, oh, wouldn't that look cute in the hallway? Wouldn't that look great in the kitchen? There's so many possibilities when you're walking through that store because they have so much stuff. Sometimes it's very overwhelming seeing all this stuff that they have in there because it's like, really, I don't want to buy anything in that store, but I know Nora is going to find something. And you might do the same thing, whether it be Home Goods, whether it be TJ Maxx, Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods, whatever it may be, you might be that person that will just spend money. You'll find something to actually buy because you just had to have it. Everybody has their weaknesses. Like I told you, a golf store, Academy Sports, those are my big weaknesses. It's my kryptonite. A good sports store. I love it. There is one sports store. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. There's one in Springfield, Illinois, and then I think they're based out of Iowa, but Scheels, that is next level sporting goods stuff. It's so big, they have a Ferris wheel in the middle of it. That's how cool it is. It's really awesome. I'll support Nora through anything that she wants to buy most of the time, as long as it makes sense. I'll defend her honor all the time. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be a supportive husband. I think you might know where I'm going with this. The Oscars just happened on Sunday. Will Smith, Chris Rock, one after it. I was super surprised on how everything played out. I don't watch the Oscars live. I'm not an award show person. If you could sit down and watch an award show for 3 hours, good on you. Because it's absolutely, sometimes it feels like a job to sit through a full Academy Awards or the Golden Globes or the CMAs, any award show. It always feels that way. And I just saw the clip the next morning. Actually, Nora woke up and was like, hey, did you see what happened last night at the Oscars? I said, no, what happened? Then I jumped on Twitter to find exactly what happened. And I don't think you've missed it because it's been meme city. This video has been all over the place.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win.
True.
He's praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Uh-oh.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh. Richard.
Will's walking up on stage.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
I would agree, especially at an awards show. Now, when I first saw this clip, I was like, the wrestling fan of me, this is what the wrestling fan of me thought. This was staged. This was scripted. It looked like this had been planned. Because when Chris Rock originally said that G.I. Jane joke, Will Smith was laughing. It was Jada, the one to roll her eyes, and then you saw Will Smith get a reaction out of all this. And then Will walked up and smacked Chris Rock. Now that slap, I've watched it over and over again to try to see if it was real. To me, it didn't look real. It seemed like a slap that you see in a movie. Now, Chris Rock would be the one that would be able to tell you if that smack was real or not. He would feel it going across his face. I mean, I don't know if you were able to hear the smack on the audio that I played for you, but it legit sounded fake. It almost sounded fake, too. And the way that Chris Rock threw his head back, I'm like, there's no way. There was no way that was real. And more people kept talking, no, that wasn't scripted. It wasn't scripted. Will Smith has released an apology now regarding the whole situation. I still don't believe that this was real. I don't think that Will Smith got all that worked up over the whole issue. Listen, I'm all about defending your spouse. That's what you should do. You're supposed to be each other's biggest supporters in the whole world. You're supposed to do that. There's a couple of different variables, I think, One, this whole situation, you got to remember, it was about comedy in that situation. Chris Rock was going for the comedic effect, trying to get a good laugh. That was his job when he was up on stage. Now, was it at Jada Pinkett Smith because, she was the butt of the joke? Yeah, sure. But whenever you go to a comedy show, you're open, you're vulnerable for a comedian to pick you out. It's kind of the reason why I don't like going to small venue comedy shows, because I don't want to be the guy that they pick out. I would be able to laugh, but I would be super embarrassed about the whole thing. My face would be beet red. Now, if Will Smith genuinely was that upset about the whole situation, time and place, like I said, you should always defend. Will Smith would have had the opportunity to go backstage and talk to Chris Rock. That's where you settle the score. You don't go up on stage and smack someone. That's not what you do. You talk to him backstage, you go, hey, yo, bro, that was totally not cool. I'm not going to stand up there and insult your wife. And Chris could have probably came back and say, look, it was a joke. It just didn't land well. I'm sorry about the whole situation. But I think Will Smith took it to the next level. I think he should know, as a professional that is in the entertainment business, what Chris Rock was trying to do in that situation. And that's why you address it behind the curtain. If Jada was really upset, she could have went to go talk to Will. Will could have settled the score for her. But if you look at the video, if you see the video of it, Jada wasn't even really by Will Smith in that. I'm sorry, what's going on there? We all know that living situation. If you don't know, it seems like they're both in an open relationship. And I'm not saying that changes anything, but to me, it's just like, how far do you go to support someone that you're in an open relationship with? Yeah, you still love and care about that person. And if you feel like they're insulted, yeah, you still might stand up for them. But I don't know, man. There's something over the last couple of years that doesn't seem right about Will Smith. Something seems a little off. I don't know what it is. I can't go into and give you a professional opinion of what I think about Will Smith or what he's going through right now. But something seems different. I can't put my finger on it. Whatever it is, I hope that through all of this, he's able to talk to Jada. He's able to talk to Chris Rock. He's able to talk to other people to see why he reacted the way that he did. Because this goes back to like third grade stuff. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Right? You learned that lesson at an early age. If you were in third grade, say at the time, somebody made fun of you, tried to make you the butt of the joke. You didn't want that, but yet it was done. And if you would have slapped that person, you would have gotten in trouble. Like I said, I know the situation is different, but I feel like we have to go back to the fundamentals of, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So it's like, we got to find a place, where comedians can still be comedians and have fun. There could be a joke, but yet how do you address that joke afterwards if it doesn't sit well with you? Listen, I wish that I could go and smack some people at my gym, but I can't do that. I know it's not the place. It's not the time. It's not the place. Plus, some of the people that are at my gym, a lot bigger than me. I'm too scrawny to try and put up a fight against someone that is lifting weights all the time. And lately, when I've been at the gym, I've been dealing with some real big idiots. There's somebody who every day at the gym is constantly on the phone with someone at like 6:30 in the morning. Like, who are you talking to at 6:30 in the morning? Who wants to hear you go? No one wants to hear that first thing in the morning. maybe her spouse, maybe a friend works overnights and they have a little time to talk on the phone, but still, I wouldn't want to talk to someone that was working out and hear them breathe so heavy while I'm having a conversation with them. Me, I know, I told you, I can't multitask. To try and multitask working out and being on the phone, that's not happening for me. So I've dealt with that lady, and it's constant every single day. Lately, there's been this dude that has been at the gym, and he's been on the phone. Why? Why do we need to be on the phone at the gym? At first, I thought that he was actually singing, but he wasn't. He was on the phone. I turned the volume down on the podcast that I was listening to at the time, and I actually started to listen in to see if he was rapping, if he was on the phone. Sure enough, he was on the phone. Once again, time and place. Being on the phone at the gym, not acceptable. But I was at the gym last week, and guess what? There was a guy that was rapping and singing as loud as he can. Now, in that situation, he was going after it. He was getting a real good workout on. He was on the treadmill. And I'm like, you know what? He's pushing through it. He's working hard. Maybe that's what he needs to do in order to get the best workout possible. But I feel like if you're on the phone, there's no way you're getting a really good workout in on the phone. You can't. No. Something is slacking. It's either going to be the conversation or it's going to be your workout. I just feel like I'm in a bad place right now at the gym. Not only do I have to deal with people that are constantly on the phone, I also have to deal with people that are completely gross. And people are completely gross. I've always noticed this. And I think since COVID, I've really noticed how disgusting people are. It stands out even more because I kind of already am a germaphobe. I was before the pandemic, and now after the pandemic, I'm saying whatever. I'm not here to rule if the pandemic is over or whatever. I don't really want to talk about that. But it just became more noticeable on people's habits, on their cleanliness habits, right? And I'll see people that go to the bathroom, don't wash their hands. I'll see people that won't wipe down machines at the gym. Like, it's completely gross. I already thought that was gross. Well, then I saw the most disgusting thing possible. Some guy had a towel at the gym. He was working out hard as well. It's great. You're going to sweat a lot when you're at the gym. This dude was wiping his sweat with this towel that he brought from home. And then what he was doing, this is the gross part, he was going down to go get the spray, the disinfectant spray, to spray on his towel that he just wiped all of his sweat over. He would spray it, go back over to the machine, wipe the machine down with all that sweat and the disinfectant on there. I feel like there's no way that you could actually clean the machine with sweat and disinfectant. Like, I don't think the disinfectant would have actually killed all of the sweat that was on that towel. I was gagging when I saw that. I'm like, man, what are people thinking? This is gross. This is why I always carry hand sanitizer around with me. This is why I wash my hands as much as possible. And I do make sure that I do the happy birthday song, or I do 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, all the way up to 20 when I wash my hands. When I'm telling you that I'm a germaphobe, I'm halfway serious about it. Now I am serious about it. If I go into a new bathroom, I look around to see if the toilets flush by themselves, to see if it's automatic soap, to see if it's an automatic sink, to see how the door handle is placed, if we have paper towel or we have one of the air dryers. Like, I look at all that stuff to see how I'm going to get out of that bathroom without getting even more bacteria and other gross things on my hands. That's the extent that I go to. So then when I'm out in the public and I see those things that people are doing, like not washing their hands after going to the bathroom or wiping a machine down with a whole bunch of sweat. It infuriates me because I don't want to see that stuff. It's gross. This is why people get sick when they're out and about. Maybe it's building up my immune system. I have no idea. It could be. But it just weirds me out. It's like I'm going to the gym so that way I can remain healthy. I don't want to go to the gym and get sick because people aren't wiping the machines down. They're not washing their hands and then going to touch other things. Let's be adults. There was a reason why your parents always had you wash your hands before dinner. Because you had a whole bunch of grime on them from doing whatever the hell you were doing all day long. And then you don't want to use your hands to eat and have all that dirt all over your food. It makes sense. There's a reason why we wash our hands. So let's do it. And dudes are the worst at it. I don't know how it is in women's bathrooms because guess what? I've never really gone to the bathroom in the women's bathroom. I have a couple of times, but no other women were in there. It was like when a place was closed and I knew that I could go into the women's restroom. And most of the time, the women's restroom, a lot nicer than men's. Okay? Dudes are gross. And from what I've heard, people say, don't think that all women's restrooms are nice because women are gross too. I said, okay. But most of the women's bathrooms that I've been in, when the place is shut down, have been pretty nice. Cleaning crew could have been there before I got in there, and that's why they were nice. Oh, man, it was a fun episode of the show. Like I said, I'm going to try and get the video version of this up on my YouTube channel. Just search for Luke Kelly Show on there. Hopefully it all saves right, and hopefully I can do everything that I need to do to make it look all nice and pretty. I'm excited about that possibility. But if not, make sure you just keep listening to this wherever you listen to podcasts, and I'll talk to you on Monday where we rank the top 3 French fry fast food. I'm saying this wrong. This is a tongue twister. The top 3 fast food French fries. There we go. Slow down. I got to remind myself every once in a while to do that. You have a great rest of your week. Enjoy WrestleMania weekend, even if you don't watch. We'll talk to you next time on The Luke Kelly Show.